back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in the studio where it's empty. Joined by my co-host here, Randy, the sumo of success. Angston, what's up, guy?
Is it because we're in quarantine and I'm getting fat?
Well, that's what they're saying. Quarantine 15. Quarantine 15.
I think I've been pretty good, actually. I've been busier than normal.
Doing yard work?
Just constant, to stay moving.
I've been getting to projects at the house that I've been sitting on for 3 years.
Yep.
I'm, cleaning the garage. I got the closet all dialed in. It's lots of trash getting out of there.
It is, yeah.
It is actually kind of nice.
It is, we just you gotta make the most of it. You know what I mean? We're not out doing anything. We're not talking with everyone, running out, doing social things. So get shit done.
Yeah, get the stuff done at the house, which is awesome. Okay, a couple things to talk about. Obviously, we're in a weird situation right now in regards to everybody's shut down. That being said, you have a lot of time on your hands. You're not in the gym necessarily unless you're doing some online stuff, but you're not busy. You're not, talking to clients all the time. So this is a great time to sit down, focus on your business, because this is going to pass. We don't know when, but when you do come out of the other end of this, you should hopefully be prepared for things to happen. And so we've got our virtual automation workshop at pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation. We knocked $500 off of that versus the live one. Plus, you don't have to travel anywhere. We can knock this out together over 2 days. It's April 23rd and 24th. You don't want to miss that. That's something that we can actually help you with while you're in, shut down and coming out of the back end of this. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff. And we've got clients that are using the CLA, the Client Lifecycle Automation System, for their online training programs, marketing, sales. It's working like gangbusters, big time numbers.
Yeah, right now, I could tell you, I just had an interview with David, who's a client of ours that was at our last workshop.
Yep.
He's using the exact CLA setup that we built together. Didn't modify anything as far as the tagging sequence from the lead to the call.
Yep.
Everything's identical, and he's just from the other day, he spent $106 and he's already made $3,400 in a week. Yeah. So take it and run. He is in a position to scale. That is an ad campaign that's doing very well. He just needs to scale the front end, and the rest pays off.
Beautiful. Yeah. So that's something you can work on right now. So pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation. I highly recommend you jump in on that. We've got the $500 off. If you have any questions, how do they get some questions answered?
Yeah, jump on a call with me. I'll run you through exactly what we're doing with the workshop or the CLA in general. The options there. We do have a good, better, best model. But pfmarketingsolutions.com/call will take you right to the option to my calendar. You can book a call with me at your convenience.
Perfect. So. And we'll put that in the show notes.
Yep.
So they can just jump down if you're on Apple iTunes. So go down in the show notes. I guess it's on anything.
It's on all of them. Yeah, I think I think it's distributed across all of them.
It feels like we haven't been in here doing podcasts like we normally have. Just by default.
Well, the weird thing is, I'm pretty sure we're on paid. I think we've done 2 weeks. It just timing is so strange because we rushed a couple of them out. We did a couple of the Zoom calls with the group, the roundtables.
That's what it was. So hopefully we're bringing some good value. We got a great one today, guys. We want to talk about. Before we get into the topic today is so you've got this on. You've cut your teeth on this online training. Doesn't it make sense to bring this as a permanent solution for the future after you're open? And we're going to talk about some great stuff around that. But I want to talk about this SBA. Loan programs that are out there right now. There's so much confusion. I feel like it's trickling down into now everybody's starting to get the right answers.
Yeah, and for those listening, today is Sunday the 5th. A little weird for us. It's a Sunday morning. We're in here, but just to track if you're following the SBA stuff. So today, at the time of the recording, it's April 5th.
Right.
So this is the current situation regarding the SBA, which seems to change daily.
I feel like we're in a good spot now. So. Here's where a lot of the confusion comes from. There's 2 loan programs available to small businesses. Number one is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. You'll see this EIDL. That's a standard loan that's made available right now. If you've lost money because of the coronavirus issues, you can go apply for that. That's more of a standard loan. You have to pull credit. You have to have some collateral in the game. There's some payback options and stuff, but it's a really low rate, and a lot of the standardized qualifications are a little bit lenient on that one. That's your standard one, okay? That can be used for anything, but most likely operating capital. Now, on the other side of the line, there's something called the Paycheck Protection Programs, the PPP. You've seen this. This one's unique in the fact that I've never seen it done before. Businesses can apply for this loan. It's a forgivable loan, depending on a couple things. So the way you calculate the total loan value, it's basically the average. And there's two time frames. It could be all of 2019, your average payroll. There's some taxes and some healthcare stuff that goes in there. So get with your CPA to kind of get that number. You average that out, and it's 2.5 times whatever your average is. Now, that's your top line loan value. You can now turn around and use that money for payroll, rent, mortgage, utilities. If you can use that money for those items over an 8-week period after the time you receive the money, you can then get that forgiven. So it's technically a grant.
Conversion to a grant, sure.
So that's the PPP. Going back to the EI, Economic Injury Disaster Loan, there's a $10,000 grant tied to that one that if you get approved, it's an advance, and that $10,000 does not have to be paid back. It doesn't have to be proven or anything. If you don't get the loan, you still can get that $10,000 grant. So, wildly different programs, but both available right now. We just submitted our documents.
Wasn't there some restrictions as far as the capital on converting the grant, as far as how you spent it?
No.
Not on the PPP though.
Yes.
Yeah. You didn't explain that.
You can use it on rent, payroll, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, correct. Gosh, see, this is why.
Yeah.
So back to the PPP program. Of the money you receive, you have to use 75% of that money on payroll. Okay. So there's 25% that can go to utilities and rent and stuff like that. However, it's over an 8-week period. So if you don't spend the money, you owe it back at a low interest rate, or you can just give it back on week 9.
Sure.
Here's your money back. So lots of stuff to talk about in regards to that. Get with your CPA. Get with Shauna. Let's throw her link in there too. Shauna's our tax goddess. You've heard us talking about her as being a super helpful, and especially in times like this. She'll help out, and should get on a call with her. But regardless, that's what's going on. And so Chase is the bank I use for most of our banking, and they had a really strange way to do it. So you had to submit your information, just your contact information, and then they were calling individually back. So I got a call yesterday on a Saturday, talked to my man Mark, never met him before. We went through the whole process, got everything done. It's submitted, and so now it's a waiting game. So I think the money's going to run out.
That's what I was wondering when we were having the calls a week and a half ago. Gym owners that aren't taking action and getting in line, is there going to be money for them when they do decide to do something? I
think after they start lending money, we got about a 2-week span on this thing. I don't know. I don't know how many businesses there are, but everybody. One, it's free money. The other one's the grant. This one's the PPP is like it's forgivable. So obviously everybody's
rushing to do it,
drooling to get on that, because it's basically you can get the money, use it for your business, and then you don't have to pay it back. It's a great thing. So anyways, that's that thing. I just want to throw that out there because that's just going on right now. So let's talk about online stuff. Okay, so we all know that online training has been around long before the coronavirus. And there's a type of person that appeals to, and there's a type of person that like coming into the gym that appeals to. So now here's the thing. Everybody's being forced to take the clients that are used to coming into the gym, working out with a coach. Now we're saying, hey, you know what? We're closed, but we want to help you, and here's your solution. Do I think that's what they really want? No.
The majority of them, I would say no. I agree.
Yeah. Now they're getting used to it.
Yep.
And because they have to do it, they're probably kind of enjoying it.
Yeah, they're making the most of it, sure.
But so now you've cut your teeth on, how do I, the tech stack, the cameras, the lighting, the schedule. How do I coach people in a virtual situation? My thought is like, okay, you've gotten this far. Is this something that we want to carry on as a permanent, service after we come back and open up?
I don't see a reason why anyone shouldn't.
Agreed.
I mean, pros, cons, that type of thing. Like, You've done all the work, like you said. You've created the whole system already. Don't just shut that off when things go back to normal.
Yeah.
Like, this is a whole branch. We talk all the time about opening up profit centers and additional streams of revenue. Most facilities, this is an entirely new area that they can make money with.
You know, and I think I said this on the last podcast, but I was in, right the first week we started this, my dad popped in, right? And I looked at Mike, our coach that was coaching like 20 faces on the screen, and they're all having a good time. And I'm like, what do we need this gym for? Oh yeah, it's because you can have you can have a solution, but it's the clients that you can't get.
Correct.
And so, yeah, just like at a snap of a finger, we have 25 faces on there getting trained, but that doesn't just happen.
Correct. Yeah, they were already members.
No, right. So now you have this solution. My thought is this: why don't you create this as a long-term solution after you open up? Take a piece of your studio or your gym and dedicate it to like a little camera studio. I was thinking about it out there working out earlier. I think you need about an 8x8 square.
Sure.
48 square feet, something like that.
Yeah. I don't think it needs to be much more.
Wait, what's 8 times 8? 64.
64.
Yeah, 64 square feet. That's all you need, and I'm looking at this room behind us, that muscle therapy room that doesn't get a lot of action. That could be a great little studio.
We're going to take more of it, huh?
Just take it all.
There you go.
Set up permanent cameras, set up your computer that always lives in that space, and then you have a coach that's dedicated at certain times of the day to do those,
Yep.
And then they jump over and do the training. I think it could be seamless.
I agree.
I really do. Yeah, I think it could be a great solution. Now, here's the thing. Like, obviously, brick and mortar, there's some stuff.
Yeah, I think the air just shut up or something. It got really eerily
Really
quiet in here.
What the hell? What was I just saying?
You're taking a portion. You're getting at the fact that something about the clientele.
Dang.
I assume that you're going to the fact that.
Oh yeah, the brick and mortar. You're stuck in like a 5-10 mile radius. Now, since we've been running some ads and we're kind of just basically going for the whole state, just to kind of see. We have people coming in from Tucson, out of state, Maryland, and they're coming in to our programs online because they have a friend that's doing it and they're sharing it and stuff like that. It's seamless. They're just like another person there. And
you're not tied to brick and mortar distancing. You know what I mean? It's you can speak to clientele nationwide, worldwide even, and that's a huge opportunity.
Yeah, scalable. Now, I do think that some of the gyms that close are going to just go online.
I think so.
I think that's going to be a solution for some people. And it's a great solution.
It's better than closing your doors and having nothing.
It's funny. Before we were forced to do this, I was always kind of like, that's not what our clients want.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this before,
I didn't want to bring it in. I was like,
yeah.
You know what? That's just, let's not waste our time trying to do an online program where it's live or it's programming. But now that we've been forced to, now we've kind of, like I say, you cut your teeth. You've done the brain damage on trying to create this thing from scratch, and now you've got it. But to the point earlier, it's a different clientele.
Yeah, and that's something that you and I have always felt. Your client that's walking into the gym that desires to be with that coach, that's where they want to be. Most of the people that are obviously on these Zooms and on these workouts, like we said, it's kind of like they're forced to do that if they want something. But it's probably not where the majority of them want to and prefer to be.
And I remember there was a company out there forcing like this, I think they were calling it hybrid or something.
Yeah.
Remember this?
Uh-huh.
You don't hear about that much anymore.
No, that came and went real fast.
So there was a company out there that was telling people to
push their clientele to
push their clientele to online.
Yeah. You can essentially close your gym by moving your
which is kind of funny right now because that's kind of what's happening. But the people that did it, they lost their gyms. They lost their clientele overnight because that wasn't what those people wanted.
Yeah.
And that's really the point here is you can take care of your clients in the gym, and those are a specific type of people. And then you got the people that are willing to work out in their backyard, in their living room, in their bedroom, and just train there. Now, there's some massive convenience for the people out there. But then there's a downside because, like, I was talking to, like, Clint and Lisa.
Yeah.
Like, we miss coming in there. We miss the interaction. And, and so there's different types of people So why not do both? That's really what I'm thinking.
And you nailed it when you said it's a solution. You know, it comes down to the clientele, that whole like kind of hybrid, like pushing people that were already in the gym to the online, kind of the situation we're in right now. That's not the right way to go about it, because that's not what that's your business telling your clients how you want them to go act. Yep. You know what I mean? As opposed to providing a service that the clients can take part in, if that's what they desire. You know what I mean? Yep. Not pushing people into something that they really, truly don't want. So having that pole in the water, having that availability. I mean, think about here at Pulse. You know, let's say that you take your, the transient members where they go back in their snowbirds and they're back in Canada or Chicago or New York. Maybe they stay with you. You know, maybe you provide some sort of training for them when they're back at home, but they're with your coaches. They know everybody. You know, it's still like being part of that community and team. Yep. It's just doing it remote.
It's a great, I'm kind of excited.
I think so, yeah.
So it's we said pivot. There's all these words that we use, but like it's evolving. And so we'll think.
Friends.
What, Friends?
Pivot, that iconic scene in Friends where they're moving the couch up the staircase, and Ross's face. Ross is yelling, "Pivot, pivot!" He's trying to turn.
Let's get that. Let's put that as a
seriously. Yeah, that's a good one. Pivot.
But yeah, we're pivoting. We're evolving, and so the gyms and the businesses that are going to come out of the other side of this with a whole new business model, they're the ones going to survive. And there's the other gyms that are going to close. And so, who are you going to be? What is it? How serious are you?
It comes back to a lot of the things we talk about all the time: growth and decay. You providing a solution to your clients' needs. Mm-hmm. We're forced to go do this right now. None of us really, again, weren't excited about having to do this, but now that you're there, don't just let it all, go to waste. Like, utilize the efforts that you put in.
Yep.
Well, the second things turn normal, you now have an entirely new service that you can bring to the marketplace, and that's huge for most businesses. We've talked about, single service businesses being. Could you imagine if you had a team training gym right now that you didn't have? You decided not to pivot to an online training model. What are they going to be around in a month, 2 months, 3 months? Like, when we've watched a lot of businesses already, we're a couple weeks into it, closing their doors.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but it's the reality we're in, and we're all, So I did a webinar the other day for this group out of Toronto, and I had this picture, like as a cartoon image of this tennis court where, I was looking for a graphic of the field is now level. Mm-hmm. So, in this cartoon, the court's like. Two different levels. Like the guy is up on the top hitting the ball down to like 30 feet down into a hole where the other guy is, and he can't hit the ball back
up.
It's because the field was unlevel before, and by unlevel I mean massive corporations like Gold's or Planet Fitness have unlimited budgets and they're picking off people out of the marketplace. Of course, we say that those aren't our people, but now the field is level, and we're actually in a much better position than those big box gyms right now, because they are shutting off. They're not providing any solutions to their clients.
Yeah, they've all paused their businesses.
Where we are.
Yep.
And the training studio businesses out there are providing the solution, just in a different medium.
And I had a conversation with our Iron Circle this weekend. Our buddy Dimitri up in Toronto, actually. Mm-hmm. Him and I got a call Friday, and we were talking about him setting up his online stuff, and I was like, well, Dimitri, understand, nothing's changed from your client's standpoint as far as the need. The service that we provide, the problem, solution, it's all the same. Like, fitness didn't go away. People still have a need to stay fit. It's our medium, it's our platform, it's our communication. All of that is where we've pivoted, and we've had to change that process. But ultimately, the marketplace still has the need. Our clients still have a desire for the results. It's our responsibility to figure out how we can provide that. And pivoting was the perfect option in the meantime. So it's awesome. But the gyms that are doing I don't want to say very well, but they're keeping their clientele. They're still moving the needle forward. They're maintaining most of their teams. Like, there's hope, as opposed to some of these that just literally just shut everything off.
And that's the question mark that you have is which direction you're going to go. As a gym, are you going to just, and there are some gyms out there, you look at the situation, you've lost 50, 60, 70% of your clientele. You go and get, say, this economic injury disaster loan, I'm throwing the number out there, say you get $100,000, you come back from this, half of your clients are gone. You've got your team intact because that other loan's paying your team. Now you're back to full expenses again, and you have half your clients and you're $100,000 in debt. You got to make a game time decision. Is it worth it? I mean, I'm not here to say like it's all, unicorns and rainbows right now. I'm just saying like there's some gyms that are going to choose that, it's not worth going through all this. Let me just close up shop. And I hate to see it, but it's a business decision.
Yeah.
You come back, you're in bigger debt, and you've got nobody left, and you got full expenses again. It's like, well, is this really what we're going to do? So I can see a lot of this playing out, and we can't expect it to be open in May. Like, I just don't know.
Yeah, what are we talking? April 30th right now is like this, at least here, I think.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, but there's other states already talking about June, July.
May 15th in some places already. Yep.
Yeah, like I just wish the uncertainty is what's killing the situation.
I'll tell you what, though, I am ridiculously excited for what's going to come. Like, I have huge belief that fitness is going to explode coming out of this.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while.
I mean, even if you think about just kind of where everybody's minds were, like, fitness never really had a boom in January, in my opinion, like we have in years past. It kind of was just like, and then we got into 2020, and it was like, okay, now this virus is taking over, and that's all everything is about. And I think that because of the attention that it's getting, as far as health and fitness, and that being such a big proponent for staying safe.
Well, I got a good point, because you've been talking about all the doctors and stuff talking. I actually saw, it was a reporter, well, it was in studio, but they had two, on Skype or whatever, they had two doctors talking about, they were seeing like some severe cases of the COVID in their hospitals. And they had the people, and they had some statistics, and they threw it up. 99%, it was 99%. Like there was might have been like one or two people that didn't fit this category, had a BMI over 33 that were in the critical category. And that's obese. Mm-hmm. And they both came back to health and fitness, losing weight as a big way to protect yourself from, catastrophe when it comes to these viruses.
Yeah,
and that's being pushed. Thank you, guys. Thank you. They're pushing that out into the market, into the media, and so now again, we talked to the awareness triangle. These people that were unaware of fitness and being a solution for them. I mean, this is a great position for the gyms, because everybody's talking about health and fitness as being one of the biggest factors on whether or not you're going to live or you're going to die.
And if you don't believe it, go outside. I mean, the East Coast and colder climates might be a little bit different right now, but here, just on the way home just on the way here from my house. Every trailhead that I passed, loaded, like 20 cars on something that would traditionally be one.
Yeah.
Like, it is insane. People are seeking out fitness solutions right now. It's our obligation, to be in front of them to provide that solution.
Correct. And so now you decide, okay, so let's just say you decide this is going to be a staple. I think you need to get it on your website pretty dang quick. Mm-hmm. You need to have this as a service option. You should have a separate landing page that's talking, not like a funnel, but like part of your website that talks about the solution for online virtual training, and start doing it now, because those web developers, they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
They kind of work at a snail's pace. A lot of these guys, Andy. Let's get this done. So he's working on ours, but I'm just saying we need to get that out there and just kind of push it out, and that's your new thing.
And we talk about it constantly. I mean, obviously we're in the mix, right? Being the Profit side of the business, we have to kind of think about what's the next thing. What should we be providing our gyms and our clientele so that they can turn around and get things in motion quickly? And like there's conversation in our marketing group about, I'm going to plan, the next play or the next challenge or the next whatever offering is coming out of this. And I'm like, if you don't have those systems in place right now, like the offer itself might not be fine-tuned, but you better damn well have a system in place for getting that out there, because that's going to happen quickly. If you're thinking about it and you're waiting to hear, when that release date is going to be, where we all run back into a gym, that system better be done. All those assets better be created now. Yeah. The ad copy is now. You know what I mean?
The one thing, though, we need to really make sure is that if you're doing this online training, and you're doing lives, and that has to be a great experience before you start trying to do marketing for it.
Absolutely.
I think your coaches, you need to take a look at like Peloton. I mean, they crush this space. They do specific things at the beginning and the end of the workouts. They do specific things during the workouts to call out people and keep them connected and like, I see you, you know, whatever, and they do their username and stuff. Make sure your experience is amazing. And that's why over the last 2 weeks, we've switched computers 3 times. We've changed cameras. We've gotten different cords and lighting. We're trying to make the experience great. So when you're selling it, it's just like not ho-hum. Like, make sure it's great. And then also talk to your clientele. Ask them, how did you like that one? What would you like to see different? We're still working on the music situation. We're trying to figure out how to pipe music in that the coaches can still, they can still hear the coach. So that's really, if you don't have that done, do that first. Like don't run out and start pushing this out as marketing yet. Make sure your experience is great and ask for feedback from your current clients.
And it goes back to kind of, I think, our belief with most of your services. You know, we're big proponents for underselling and over-delivering. And right now, especially right now, you know, everybody's under that fine-tooth comb. Like what you were bringing to your marketplace right now is going to carry over when people are going back into looking for a gym. Mm-hmm. And so the gyms and the businesses, I mean, this is beyond fitness. Businesses that are closed, your relationship with your consumer right now is huge. Create those relationships. I mean, like, and it goes both ways. I mean, I see people in the communities that are finding ways of supporting local small businesses because they know that they're hurting. They know, like the gift card situation, the prepaying for services, knowing that you can't utilize them right now. Mm-hmm. You know, it's cool to see the community step up, but at the same time, the businesses have to be doing the same thing. And those that are really, I mean, I think that coming out of this, they're going to be really well set up. Yeah. I truly think that they're going to be
build their tribes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there you have it, everybody. You know, we're in this kind of flux situation. You can go either way. We talked about different situations. You need to make sure that maybe, you know, is this the right thing for you to stay open? Maybe it's not. I mean, that's okay. You know, a lot of the fear of giving up or failing is what will everybody else think?
Yeah.
If you're a gym owner and you're so freaked out right now and you're stressed and you're looking at the numbers on paper and you just don't see how it's going to add up, if you were to, and I'm not telling anybody to close, but like if you were going to close and you were worried about what anybody else thinks, guess what? You're off the hook because this isn't your fault. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, agreed.
I want to give some of those folks out there that are fighting, but you're fighting a losing battle. Like it doesn't make sense for you to stay open. I think, hey, you know what? Cut your losses and move on. For those others that, you know, want to fight and you didn't lose that many people in the beginning, you've seen some kind of potential here, go all in on it because
double down.
Yeah, double down, send it in, and you're going to come out really, really good on the other end.
And then back to the beginning of this, you know, you said you have the time. Right now is a perfect time to look internal. You know, if you've got the solution out and you're able to, you know, maintain the video workouts and things are in motion there, you guarantee you gym owners have a lot more time than you traditionally do. Find ways of investing and growing your business right now. Not necessarily, you know, we would recommend marketing right now because it's cheap as hell. But if that's not what you're interested in, then work on the systems, work on the staffing structure, work on the, you know, all of the things that we talk about constantly that everybody says, oh, I don't have the time for. You better damn well be getting those things done right now, or I mean, it's yours to win or lose right now.
Yeah.
So
if you don't get it done now, it was never.
Exactly. You don't lack time. You lack discipline.
Yeah,
period.
There you go. There's a kick in the ass for you. All right, guys, that's it for this Sunday special session. You know, if you're interested in that workshop, pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation. If not, grab a call with Randy. We've got the links in the show notes. Until next time, guys, keep changing lives. We'll see you on the next show. Bye.